with contingents from around the world and musical traditions that have spanned thousands of years, is a festival that unites the best in plucked string instruments. This is Cuerdas sa Pagkakaysa, the third International Rondalla Festival. Cuerdas sa Pagkakaysa, or Strings of Unity, is a festival held in the Philippines every 3 years to highlight the plucked string tradition in the country and elsewhere in the world. Realized by the NCCA Music Committee in 2004 through its head Ramon Santos, composer, ethnomusicologist from the University of the Philippines, the festival has grown to be one of the most sought-after international festivals. A 2-week-long, 2-part festival held in and around Tagum City, as well as the national capital region including the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and neighboring areas. It is composed of an international conference entitled Tradition, Innovation, and New Directions, concerts at the Tagum City Hall, outreach concerts that span several provinces, concerts in the National Capital Region or Metro Manila, a plucked string exhibition, public workshops, and master classes. It's opening day in progressive Tagum City in Mindanao. Many newcomers, both local and foreign, have joined the festival. With the language of music connecting people, the energy is high and the excitement fills the air. Rehearsal time is the perfect setting to catch a glimpse of the expansive repertoire of Philippine rondalla and plucked string ensemble as it exists today. The Philippines is well known for its rondalla ensemble. Composed of several plucked string instruments, a Spanish tradition influenced by Arab music, and further indigenized to become truly Filipino, the rondalla is a very important part of Philippine musical heritage. From north to south, rondalla music is played regularly in fiestas, weddings, formal concerts, and events. It is so important, in fact, that rondalla groups dot many towns and cities in the country. The rondalla of the Philippines today is very much different from the rondalla introduced hundreds of years ago. Meaning, to go around and serenade in Spanish, it was introduced around the 17th century in the Philippines and Mexico. And although it shares the same name with groups from around the world, the instruments used in the Philippines are completely dissimilar. The bandurria, the octavina, the laúd, the guitar, and the bajo de uñas all make up the Philippine rondalla. All instruments are crafted by Filipinos who have modified the instruments to suit local style and flair. And in this festival, the rondalla is all the rage, with 12 of the best rondalla groups performing along with world music.
The stage manager will again explain to you.
Last-minute rehearsals and final preparations are carried out. And the welcome. Notable individuals from around the globe have come to witness the event.
for the first time, we are welcoming to this festival two of the oldest civilizations in Asia, China and India, where the pluck string tradition has flourished with great intensity and vigor. Two traditions that have evolved their own musics quite apart from one another, and they continue to enhance these traditions in their own unique way. And we feature for the first time, too, the Kudlong and Saluroy from the upland cultures of Eastern Mindanao, which epitomize the two main pluck strings that have come down to us from generation to generation, the lute and the zither. There is a theory that the Indian zither, a highly sophisticated instrument, is descended from the Persian or Iranian setar in the 13th century, and the gutseng of China developed from the chin, which came from the bamboo polychordal zither that has been split into two. Today, we celebrate the great diversity of musics that emanate from the pluck string traditions of the world's cultures.
The success of the opening night has set the stage for the following events to come. For the music lovers who cannot travel to the concert venue, the festival organizers have brought the concert to different towns in several provinces, such as Davao del Norte and Compostela Valley.
Pergi jauh ada rindu, tentulah kasih berbalas sayang.
For Mindanao's indigenous groups, the festival has proven to be both enjoyable and empowering. This year's festival brings a different flavor, as indigenous music is placed on the forefront.
In this festival, we always try to involve the local people, no? And we have an exhibit component. We try to study the local and try to expose to the people what they have. In Mindanao, most of the people there are immigrants, but we get comparsa groups here and there. But majority of the musicians are lumhads. So we focused on them this time. But one thing is that these people have been wary of researchers researching their music and then nothing happening to them. But this time, Datu Onlos, we brought him here to Manila, and he was saying, well, this is the first time that this thing happened to us. It's quite heartwarming, no? To realize that. And, in this 1 week that we were featuring them, I noticed a change already. They are now very proud of what they have.
Yung chance namin na makita kami at makasama kami doon sa International Rondalla Festival, ay masyado pong malaki yung impact sa aming grupo, sa aming community. Kasi kinikilala po, nirespeto, may pagpapahalaga po sa aming mga indigenous people. At nagpapaano po yun sa aming self-confidence po ng isa-isa sa aming grupo, sa aming tribo. Nagpapataas po yun ng aming moral.
We may not know the exact origins of indigenous plucked string music in the Philippines, but it has evolved, grown, and metamorphosed into a fine example of Philippine ingenuity and creativity in the postmodern musical arena. This is exemplified by the exhibit aptly titled Cuerdas: Music, Heritage, and Cultural Identity. It highlights the instruments played in the Philippine setting, as well as the people behind the music. The origins, different styles of playing, and social functions of the kuglong and saluroy are explored, as well as the indigenous groups that propagated and used these instruments in the past century. The forerunners of Rondalla music in Mindanao are further memorialized in photographs. There are a number of people who brought the Rondalla into prominence, one of them being Maestro Celso Espejo, whose group flew in from Manila to play the week-long event at Tagum.
I have been teaching Rondalla for the last 40 years. Perhaps it has become a passion. I just love it. If it were not for the support of some people like Dr. Ramon Santos, maybe it would have died, this Rondalla. Because of the advent of this electronic music instruments, the bandurian were relegated to the background. For example, we have the banduria. which is a Filipino innovation. There are Spanish bandurria, but it is different from Filipino bandurria. It has no counterpart like it is. Support the Rondalla because the Rondalla adds to our identity. In its present organization, it is Filipino.
The love of music transcends all borders, as exemplified by the international groups that have played every day for 1 week in Tagum. The Abhijit Roy Chuduri Group from India. Soundarya Laya from India. The China Broadcasting Chinese Orchestra plucked string instrument ensemble. Shaman Music School from China. The Lu Chao Yun's music group from Taiwan. Miladomus Music School from Indonesia. Suara Sama from Indonesia.
Tidakkah kau renungkan mereka telah
National University of Singapore Rondalla from Singapore. The Sarnmit Performing Arts Alliance of Thailand. And Sai Hampeng from Thailand. Rutaf from Iran. And Phoenix Trio from Russia. And knowledge of musical disciplines are exchanged. The Abhijit Roychuduri group explains how one becomes a musician under the guru's watch.
In Indian tradition, guru doesn't accept you very quickly. Teacher doesn't accept. He will give, he always try to avoid. With my guru did with me, he give a composition. This I have to play for a year, only one composition. After more than 1.5 years, I was bored. I was, mother, what we are teaching? Well, okay, it is very fine. You play this one every day.
The dedication and the sincerity of the student.
Medically, it is proved that some raga gives a soothing effect for hypertension patient and blood pressure.
Stress buster.
Actually, music is always learning process. I still learn something. Whenever I get some good music, I used to capture that music. It is our also moral duty to whatever we gain in music to give somebody, because we have to leave this earth one day. Before going that, we have to give it to somebody. Thank you very much.
In the Philippines, I actually see that many young people here can play Rondalla. I think we should try to do that, some kind of thing in Indonesia. This is like inspiration for us how to socialize music, traditional music to schools.
And for the Russian contingent, they relay why they keep on coming back year after year.
Very exotic for us. It's very exotic country. And now we're here in Mindanao. Hello, Mindanao people. We love you.
The end of the Tagum leg of the festival brings about another buzz in the air. Congratulations and certificates are in order. And in the end, convergence. And the festival moves to the National Capital Region. In the University of the Philippines, Diliman, the festival starts with simultaneous performances, public workshops, and open-air concerts. The cultural center of the Philippines was fully packed.
Parallel octave.
Public workshops held in the University of the Philippines proves to be a hit with audiences young and young at heart.
The theme is Strings of Unity. Through the pluck string tradition, people can get together. People from different cultures, from different countries can get together and just express themselves through music and forget about political differences and all that. We are talking here of humanity when we talk of music.
Cuerdas sa Pagkakaysa has created one language and one soul through music.